Yeah.
My own thing. I got a single too, a solo in this.
Yeah, just a little glimpse.
Yeah, of how real this shit is, bro. I haven't done like an intro video to my YouTube yet. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo, okay, bro. We do this shit, and it's like, okay, then it's time to sit down and actually do it. We have in this room. How much space do we have in this room? Hello. Hi. Okay. I think we're going, bro. Yeah, I think I need a second. Alright. Okay. Good energy. Alright. This is it. We're going. Okay. Alright. One sec. Alright. Okay. This is it. I'm doing it. Alright. Hello. What's up? Welcome to another episode of In This Room. This is the interview show where I bring on my friends, my family, the people that I'm trying to introduce to you all. Today we are in this room. This, if y'all are unfamiliar, if you haven't watched my very last video, this is the studio that I got where I think most of In These Rooms will be shot. This is the studio that I've been blessed with. Thank you, Lord. We're here and we're ready to go. Today, I'm honored to have with me a man that has been real and has rode with me for years now. A humble, ingenuitive, disciplined grinder. Somebody who knows himself and knows the world very well. It is my good friend, Cory. Everybody, welcome. Let's go. Yes, bro. What's up? Hey, okay. What's up, bro? How's it going? Oh shit, we doing this? Oh yeah, shut up, bro. I'll hit you with one of those too, man. Bless the space. That's amazing. How's it going?
I'm chilling, bro. Big chilling. Blessed as always.
Big chilling.
Enjoying life.
Giselle, welcome to this room. You are the first guest that I've had in studio, as we've been talking about, and as you've been watching me trip over how amazing this is that we have this opportunity. It's just good to have you here. Good to go through these processes with you.
It was good to come out here, bro. I always enjoy you bringing me out here to Marin.
Appreciate you.
I told you, like, it feels different being here. It's like the soil is different.
Yeah.
Like,
in Marin.
I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels like, and just like being in this room.
Yeah.
Like
in this room, yeah.
We just had like a little like meditation session before we just started this, and I do my own little practice, but I'm usually somewhere like outside where I can like view like, you know, some mountains or some water or something, but I feel like being in here, like I was in like just a different space entirely.
Yeah,
like
cool.
This feels like the symmetry and just like the colors. It just feels like I'm in a very organized place, and
cool.
my brain likes that.
Dope, I appreciate that. Ever since I got into this space, actually, which was over a year and a half ago, even though I just signed the lease like last month, even a year and a half ago, it was always super high vibrational, and then the woman that I was renting from or subletting from always had it be like a meditation kind of center, you know, and every time I was in here it was some super high vibrational stuff, and so I kind of just feel right like passing it along, and that's like kind of who I am too. Like my spiritual nature is like high vibrational meditation, kind of spiritual jazz, you know, and so it's just like, you know, you got Jesus up on the wall. It was like the first thing I put up there, just like having God bless the space and having God be the focus of what we're doing, even though shit, I have questions, but as these go, bro, people just talk. It's cool to me that like I try to attune to divine communication very frequently, but the more that you surrender and allow God to come in to who you are and what you're doing, the more that you actually don't need the direct communication, but just more so the behaviors that you develop are the behaviors of which it wants you to have, the most pure and the most high wants you to have, and so you can kind of just go on without needing to look back towards him or towards it, just because it's inside of you already. It's already programmed into like who you are and what you're doing, your behaviors and your actions.
Real shit. Like following your own intuition, it can go a long way, and just through doing things like that, doing practices like meditation and things like that, it just helps you get more in tune with your inner voice. And I feel like once you do have to communicate whether through prayer or through something else that you do, but as long as you have some type of communication with the higher up, that you are doing what you feel like you need to do or what you are put on this earth to do,
right,
it helps to guide you in the right direction.
With every choice.
Yes.
With every choice. Something that's been big for me in my spiritual journey and something that's just been like allowing me to feel hella good in my skin is yoga. You do yoga at all?
I stretch.
You stretch?
I do.
It's similar, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's like yoga. I've been doing. There's this app that has me doing like a whole bunch of new types of exercises that I've never done before.
For sure.
Like cat and cow poses.
Yeah, absolutely.
All types of stuff. I think it's called Hindu push-ups. Like where you gotta. It's like you put your. It's like your ass is in the air, but like you gotta do like a dip, but also like a push-up. It's some totally unorthodox stuff to the stuff I usually do. But it does get your body in line in a way that I would think like yoga does.
Yeah, I feel that. What are Hindu push-ups?
So, I would like to demonstrate. I feel like that's like the best way to do it.
Go for it, bro. We got the space in this room, bro.
Okay,
go for it.
So pretty much all you doing, basic like push-up structure, but then like you gotta like kind of like bend up.
Okay.
And then like.
Oh, for sure,
yeah.
Like we call that vinyasa when we're doing.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, you hit the vinyasa flow.
And bro, man, that shit's killing. Like
for sure.
I just started doing this stuff maybe like last month, and I've been getting like great fucking results.
Cool. I feel it. Some good results.
Yes.
I feel it too. All right, cool. So that was like, who even knows how long that was, but it's cool how that happened. So I do have some questions for you, unless there's anything like off the top that any kind of direction that you're trying to go in, or anything that's like been pressing on you or weighing on you that you could use this as like a platform or an outlet to get it out, and I'll just sit here and listen. Or if you're ready,
you can just let them rip, bro. And
we'll let them rip.
After that, like we just like let that flow into whatever else we want to get into.
All right, cool. And we'll see how long it goes. I don't even think we need a limit. They like kind of sit at like 45 minutes, but we'll see. All right, cool. So this is kind of like about you. We're welcoming Cory into the room. And so something respectable about you that I've mentioned to you before is the responsibility that you've had to take on from a relatively young age. If it's not too personal, could you tell us a little bit about your home life, like who you live with and where, and tell us how providing for your family energetically and financially has matured you, and how your specific home circumstances have developed you into who you are today?
For sure. So just everything you said was facts, except for like the financial part. Like, I've actually like literally everywhere else except financially. Like I would have to get that responsibility, like to my parents. They definitely like held it down for like everybody, for like school, or for like providing a place to stay for everybody. That's definitely been on them. But for everywhere else,
on Yolanda.
My mom.
I just met his mom for the first time today.
Super nice lady. And like just through her and my dad, like I've just kind of learned how to take on responsibility and to be like the person that your tribe kind of needs you to be.
Yeah, for sure.
So like
I feel that too.
I live with my parents, and my sister also lives with us, and her 3 like little babies.
Yeah.
I got a 1-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 10-year-old.
So those are your nieces and nephews?
Yeah,
for sure.
The niece is the baby, and the nephews are the 2 older ones. And it's just been so crazy just like watching them grow, because I've had to, my first nephew was born when I was in 4th grade, and I think I was like 12. So, and I always wanted to be a big brother. I have 2 older siblings, but I always wanted to be a big brother, and I feel like I got that opportunity with my oldest nephew.
Nice.
So yeah, that was pretty
shit.
sweet. And I've also had like more of a parenting, or I've been more involved than like I would say a typical uncle would be. And I've just really had to kind of step it up and kind of like being a example for them.
Yeah, the example is a big one too.
Definitely. And it's been a great experience for me, just knowing how to interact with kids and be able to shepherd them to do the right. To like I said, be an example.
Yeah,
to show
shepherd.
Them the right
I love that, shepherd.
Yeah, and
That's
I've always had a lot of kids like around me. I've always had like cousins that were younger than me.
Yeah.
Like age wise, like in my family it's kind of split up. So like there's like a 5-year difference like in between everybody.
Sure.
So I've always had younger people around me. So I've always kind of internally had that desire to want to like kind of be a good example for them, to want to give them something to like fall back on. Say, oh, I always had my cousin or my uncle who was like taking care of business.
Yeah, it weighs on you whether like you wanted to or not.
Yeah, and like it can be,
because I got a younger sister as well.
Oh, word.
And she's not like hella younger like these guys are to you. She's in college.
Oh, word.
Also, but still, it's like I know that somebody's looking up to me, and that also goes back to kind of like who I want to be as a person, not necessarily for the people that are only in my family, but also for just like the influence I want to have on this world. I can't tell anybody to do something unless I'm also executing that same discipline.
Yeah, and it's like there was a situation where it was back when we were in the dorms, like 2016.
The dorms of San Francisco State University. That's where we met.
Specifically, December 2016, where when I went back home for the holiday, and I heard that my twin cousins, who I'm also really close with, like they were more like my brothers.
Yeah, I love that.
I had learned that they had got into like some trouble, like in school, like it's kind of a dicey situation.
Okay.
Maybe you have to go off script a little bit.
All right. What you got?
It was a situation where I was just like, damn. Like when I heard what happened, I was just so shocked.
Yeah.
To be like, damn.
Like these homies.
Like these kids.
Yeah. Bro, don't they grow up like hella quick? I mean, I feel like my mom could say the same shit about me, but even I have cousins on my East Coast family who are like doing things that you wouldn't think they'd be doing, and my sister it's like putting her nose up to me and while I'm doing shit, and I'm like, yo, what? Like when did this dynamic change like that? When did it turn?
Fucking tables are turning.
Yeah, as they grow older, and it's just like, yo, you shouldn't be drinking. Like I was drinking before your age, but still, you shouldn't be able to do that,
And you don't want to judge and shit, because like I really try to not judge and kind of not have like an ego when it comes to it, because I'm like I would still say I'm not really into a lot of harmful things. Like I have my own vices, but like I try to keep them under control and everything. We all do. Like within my parameters. But just knowing that, you're in control of yourself, but you're also trying to not control others, but kind of guide them.
Yeah, you're like paving the way.
A good way, and that makes you kind of want to tighten up your own shit too.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to give advice, but you also gotta take your own advice too.
Yeah, and this goes back to the responsibility too that we were talking about right before we got up here. I was talking to him about how my life had kind of changed when I got this location, and the responsibility and the weight that came with it. And then that's how it is too. You got to be responsible for your actions and how people are, who is witnessing them, and how you're influencing the world with them.
Definitely. And just like when it comes to like the world beyond yours, your family and your friends and the people that you interact with. Yeah. It's really just about love and wanting to guide others. Like I believe that the reason that we're on this earth, or the meaning to life, is to share and guide each other, like nice. or to connect with one another.
To connect, that's what I was thinking actually.
Yeah, because the amount of things that we can achieve together just through people talking to each other, just fucking talking. Like you can help some person with problems you didn't even know that they had, or just being kind, or just checking up on somebody. Because a lot of people really need that. Like no matter how tough or how jaded a person might be, you people need communication and love. Yeah. Like no matter who you are.
When you're talking, it's like, I read one time, and this works too, it's like when you're talking, you're either doing one of two things. You're either like providing somebody the validation that they need, or you're seeking it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's bad to seek it. It's what I was gonna get at is that there needs to be a balance of that in good communication, in a good connection, in a relationship that you have with somebody. Definitely. Because it can get way too lopsided, and you can just be listening to somebody talk the whole entire time, and you're not getting to be able to validate any of your thoughts, or you could just be
just spewing information.
or you could be the one who is only talking. But yeah, just that natural balance is why we even communicate in the first place. You know, why do I even have a benefit, or why is there even like a benefit of sitting with a homie and like discussing if it weren't for synergy?
Yeah, and
the synergy, you can create so much more than just like yourself. And then that's so funny that comes back to, okay, if I don't have any homies, I don't know if this is humorous, but if I don't have any homies, I still can have synergy with God, which is super dope. Because like I say, God is like legit, like I want to say like my best friend, bro, just because he's with me. Like I got homies that go back, but like, and homies that can dip, and homies that have been dipping, bro. Like that's a different story, but it's crazy that just everywhere I go, God is never not with me, which is so crazy. And then when I'm in the studio here alone, like writing and shit, he just puts the bars in my head. I don't write the bars, I just hear the bars and catch them and put them down.
God's the biggest homie.
Bro, I wrote some shit just like that. I literally wrote that he was a homie in a rap that y'all will hear another time.
Yeah, but real shit. Like he's that's what I feel most people, when they try to communicate Christianity to like, you know, other cultures, is that it is love and like understanding that God is why people do and adhere to all the rules of Christianity is to understand and feel that eternal love. Yeah, cool. And like what you said about homies, like like sometimes like, you know, bros ain't your bros no more. Yeah. And it gets you to, in hindsight, like think about all the things that you guys may have done before when it wasn't really so much pressure on you, and you guys could just like, you know, interact at simpler times. And as you get older, and I think the older you get, the less fucks you have to go around. Like you got to start being kind of. You got to be more responsible, more mature about what you're doing. Yeah, and where you're spending your energy. Yeah, so you got to like, you know, you kind of start to naturally delegate like, you know, the time and effort you put into certain relationships. And sometimes like like the homies that you kicked it with before, you can't really do the same thing no more. Yeah, and I have something I want to say about what you just said. Fucking fuck. Damn, what was the last thing you just said? God's the biggest homie. Sometimes bros ain't your bros no more. You gotta delegate your fucks. Damn, bro, that's so crazy. Just hearing out. But bro, let's talk about Let's talk about Christianity, bro. Like, bro, I praise Jesus and know God hella well, but I feel like I'm more of like have a spiritual like grounding and more of an acceptance towards all religions than most like black and white Christians do. Like for example, I even went to go see if I was going to be a youth pastor at the church that I was visiting before COVID, and they said that my ideals were a little bit too extreme. Just because I wanted everybody, no matter who they praise, who they believe in, who they talk to, who they pray to be good after this life. You know what I mean? And then I've heard the words, God has told me that it's blasphemous to even be peddling that information, that it's like that somebody can be fine after life whether or not they accept Christ or whether or not they find God or know Jesus. But it's like I read it in a book one time, it hit me so hard. The ultimate prayer that I have is that I pray all beings ultimately will be happy and free. And I hope that, you know, and there's something in the Bible too, I think it's like, I don't want to mess this up. I think it's like Luke chapter 3, verse 6. or verse 6, or chapter 6, verse 3. All flesh will see the salvation of God, is what it says flat out in the Bible. And then that comes back to my spiritual aspect, is like, if you know God in this life can be crazy, because otherwise don't know Jesus, say his name, let him steer, just give it a shot, otherwise follow compulsions as if I am a robot. A robot, yeah. It's like I can sit here and continually attempt to bring something into my life to achieve the fulfillment that God can give you in this moment. It's like you can just keep walking around and keep trying to be fulfilled through Tinder, through fucking eating, through drinking, or you can just be like, I was listening to it this morning, Jesus is King. We have everything we need. You know, or maybe let's put this back on the tree. You know what I mean? What else is out there? No, this is it. And I'm totally okay with this being it too, because I'm content and satisfied. Yeah, like there's a lot more like on the spiritual aspect in what we can do now in this lifetime. Like there's so much to be done, both in the positive way and the negative way. Like there's a bunch of shit to distract you from what you're from what you're supposed to experience in life.
Right.
Like shit, just through
or what you can, like your potential.
Yeah, like
these distractions, these dopamine distractions.
Yeah, and like things that are low. I can't remember like low value, high stimulation.
Oh no, I know what you mean. Wait, is this like kind of like the NoFap?
Yeah. But just like
it's like
the whole.
Yeah, keep going.
I have that shit.
Dopamine comes quickly and it's fleeting, but delayed gratification is long term and more. You feel more accomplished.
Yeah,
that.
And just like
I think that's what you're saying.
And that's just like with NoFap, but it can go through like anything. That's why I say like it's like distractions, because you can get like whether it be like for me like the top 3 like habits that I have that like I try to like limit is like like the NoFap shit, like smoking and playing video games. Like I'm not like a huge gamer, but there's like 3 or 4 games that like I can play like forever. Like I can never log off. I
don't want to get into it, but I could say some shit about that. When he says NoFap, shit, I guess we have to go. We didn't have to explain it, but he says NoFap. That's kind of a challenge that him and I do. But also, as I mentioned in the room, episode 3, just abstaining from masturbation because you're unnecessarily giving away such a copious amount of energy, or a copious amount of energy. Intentionally, when you retain it and put it towards other directions, you feel so good. But
semen retention.
Semen retention. Check it out. It's like, it sounds weird to hear those words initially, but if you are born with one X chromosome, I think that's the most politically correct way to say it these days. Check it out. It could change your life. But okay, I'm just gonna say one thing on video games, and then we'll move past. So I used to game like hella hardcore when I was younger, and then kind of grew out of that phase. And so I went like 6 months without playing any video games recently, but there's still an Xbox in my dad's house where my brother stays, and I frequent there. I don't really live there or visit there that frequently. I mean, I stop in a few times a week. That's not what we're talking about. And bro, I played like 3 games of COD, just like 3 or 4 games of Call of Duty, and like for the next week I'm just craving it. Like, what is that? The dopamine?
Yeah, I mean,
the dopamine department is doing a hell of a job, and it's killing kids' interest in outdoors.
Yes, and like
in the outdoors.
Like, I don't want to like bag on video games because I still fucking love video games.
I mean, they have some value to them, and there's also like this whole world now. Yeah, esports world now, which is crazy also.
Yeah, definitely, and like there is like just as like shit has progressed through the years, like. The games that I play, they were made in like 2018, 2016. Yeah. So like they definitely are modern, but there's still like new shit coming out that like still pushes the barrier of how realistic this shit can get. And my favorite game, one of the games I play now is Titanfall 2.
Okay.
I discovered that shit like last year after the company who had made this game, Apex Legends, which is like one of the competitors to Fortnite.
Yeah.
Free.
I'm familiar.
And so after I had been hearing a bunch of good shit about Titanfall 2.
Okay.
And then I saw it on the online on the PlayStation Network for like $7. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck that shit. And I popped it in, or I downloaded it, I started it, and I started playing the campaign, and then I did the tutorial, and I was like, wait a minute, this shit is exactly like Apex.
Okay.
So I know how to play this shit. So I quit the campaign, went straight to multiplayer. Yeah. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
Hooked is such a good way to put it, bro.
It is, because like not only is it like a pretty good game, but like it encapsulates everything like from my childhood that I fucking love. Because like among the different classes and shit, like you have like different like specials and shit, like just like on Apex, but better. So, like, just that whole experience to me is just...
Like, more in-depth.
Yeah, so, like... You know, fuck it. I haven't really gotten the chance to really talk about video games in a cool ass minute, and this is one I really fucking love. So, like, say like on Apex, there's a character you could pick called Pathfinder, and he has like a grappling hook. On the parallel to Titanfall 2, you can have a grappling hook character, but he can use his grappling hooks like way more often, and you can like customize it so like you're fucking like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the classes, like I broke it down. I was loaded playing it one day, and I was like, I wonder why I love playing this shit so much. And I realized it's just like superheroes and like Transformers.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, you got big ass fucking mechs falling out the fucking sky.
Can I give you a concrete reason as to why you love it so much?
That's it.
Bro, like I mentioned earlier, the dopamine department, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
They literally, there's who was telling me this? That I had a friend who worked in the Infinity Ward like complex, and they said that there's a section of people who literally just try to make it as addicting and dopamine stimulating as possible, bro. And like, so when you're a kid and you're growing up in these times, when like 30 years ago, none of this shit was around. Right. It's like, okay, it makes sense that a kid wants to play COD rather than read a book, because reading a book, again, this comes back to delayed gratification. It's like reading a book is like art, like, I was about to say arduous, bro, like arduous or compared to a video game where all you need to do is pop up there. Even if you get 5 kills in a game, it's like you still like feel accomplished, like 1 kill. But then this comes back to that it's so fleeting. And Joe Rogan just said some shit about this that was trending on Twitter, that like, it was like, geez, I just wanted to give a shout out to John. What's up, John? You watching? Love you, bro. I love you, John. We should talk soon. I got some shit to say.
Hi, John.
Yeah, what's up, John? He streams on Twitch.
Hey.
Oh, my boy. And so, we're talking about it. Damn, bro. Yeah, so Joe Rogan said some shit about how like you can be playing games and like 3 years can go by and you're just getting the next game, but you're still in the same chair.
Yeah.
You're still the same person. But if you're out, like his example was like learning a martial arts, you know, it's like, and then you're 3 years into martial arts. I don't know. It's like, but then this goes back to balance too. Yeah, you can play some, but just have balance in your life where you're also doing some other shit on the side.
Yeah, it can't be the only thing you do. You can't do that shit all day. Or if you do have a day dedicated to that, like you gotta be doing some shit like
dedicated
to some other shit the rest of the week. But yeah, like fucking like I find with like different games, so like I just have like that's one of the games I play. I also play Spider-Man on PS4 that came out like 2018.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I fucking love Spider-Man, bro. That's my favorite superhero.
Really?
And that's
my favorite CPU?
No, my favorite superhero.
Oh, superhero.
And it's just like when I play in that, like it gives me the feeling of being a fucking superhero. Like you're the most powerful person in that whatever game world that you're in. Yeah. The game is supposed to make you feel like you're the shit. So it gives you all the power, but like you know, there's different types of games. So
the
like,
shit, but only in your room.
Exactly, like it becomes like an escape. So like if your real life isn't like you know so popping, you can like you know hop on a game where you're like a god and like you know just get your gratification from that. But if you switch to like a different type of game, like Dragon Ball Fighters is like not the last, but like the last really good Dragon Ball game that came out, and it's like you know like one of those like straight up like you know 1v1 games.
Okay.
And
like you and Queen used to play.
Yes. And
on Wii.
Yes.
With the nunchuck.
Yes. So to that point.
Shout out Quinn, bro.
Shout out Quinn. That's a homie, bro.
You should get up here, Quinn. That'd be dope.
Next time you come up here, bro.
Get here. Come here.
But like when you're playing like a competitive game like that and you're going up against another person, it's different because you're going against not just like you know another computer or whatever, or like a team of people. It's like 1v1. Yeah. So like your skill and everything is going like you're not getting that same gratification. That like it's not as easy. Like you have to learn shit, and like if you're playing online against another person, you're getting your ass just like clapped. like it doesn't feel good.
Clapped, bro.
Like it makes people like you know rage quit and shit. And like that's not like you know. Rage quitting, like you just fucking give up. You're not getting what you want. You just fucking leave. Yeah. And just to finish this out. Yeah. Like the level of challenge like that something gives you is pretty much like determines like whether or not it's worth it. If it's something easy, you might say it's more worth it, or if it's more challenging, then like you, depending on the type of person you are, it might not be as worth it.
Yeah,
and I think that goes beyond just like, like just playing games. Whether like, you're a competitive person when it comes to sports, or your whatever career path you choose.
Yeah, no pain, no gain.
Yeah, exactly. So you just gotta like, learn how to get with it.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You should cut at 30 minutes, but the microphone is still going.
That's good.
Yeah. So I wonder, does anybody know how to make that not happen? So it cuts at 30 minutes, so I need to stand up. Or maybe I'll just get a remote.
Leave it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments, and also your favorite baseball team. Something that I want to talk about. Maybe we could. Maybe these questions are just a guide. Who cares? So it's funny that you say that you can be the man, quote unquote, quote unquote. Is that what I'm saying there? Is that what people say? Quote unquote.
You mean like
yeah,
this, right?
quote unquote. I don't know. Is it so? When this goes back to San Francisco State, my first roommate. Shout out to Raymond.
Yeah, he said something about your roommate.
Yeah, my roommate. Good. Is that ISO alright? Alright, that looks good. Yeah, so on the subject of like being hella cool, but only like being hella good at Xbox and having that be kind of like your character. My roommate, this was an interesting argument because I got to see both sides of it. My roommate, people made fun of him, I guess, when I described him to them, because he wouldn't really leave the crib and he would just game, like wake up, class, homework, game. That was it. But like, I'm gonna try to say this as least offensively as possible. His physical form was like, oh jeez, what did I get myself into?
Goblin-like?
No, he was like fit for it. Like it was like, I want to ask him to go play like frisbee with me or something, but he's like not. He's like shorter and scrawnier. I don't mean to be offensive, but like he just found his like world. You know what I mean? It's like. And that's like beneficial for him. We don't need to be like shooting him down necessarily, because it's more difficult for him to feel like kind of superior in the outside world. But he found like his world and he's got his homies. I mean, in that homie John that I mentioned, I met that boy online. I met that boy on Modern Warfare 2 in 2012, and that's still like one of my best friends to this day. And he has all these real ass friends like on his computer, and he's just living in this world, and he's this shit on the gaming, bro. But maybe when you like see him out in the world, he might not be like, you might see him and be like, oh, he doesn't have this or that. But like, there's a world where he can school you. Like, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get into some hip hop. Let's talk about some rap.
Yes, sir.
Unless you had anything else you want to talk about, like on what we were just talking about.
No, just to like respond to the shit you just said. Just like, not everybody's built for like the same thing. Like everybody's good at something different. So it just takes you to go try different things to find out what's your shit.
Absolutely, and we're all in God's design too.
Exactly.
There's nobody that was made that was like, oh, he should have been more that way. He should have been more that way. Everyone's perfect in God's image.
Yes,
because you were created.
Yeah,
by somebody or something. Isn't that so crazy how there's 7 billion people, and like aside from twins, just everybody has their own. Everyone's different. Nobody looks. It's like there's that many different combinations of fucking facial structures and hairs. Isn't that so remarkable? And everyone's voice sounds a little bit different here and there, and everyone expresses themselves differently. It's crazy. Yeah. All just like divine expressions of God.
Fucking genes are crazy.
Yeah, like
even
like gap.
Like between just even people.
Or are you talking like
the same?
You mean heredity?
Yeah, like what's it? Heterotypes or whatever. But I didn't do good biology. I skated through it with a C. Yeah. But like just between people like just in the same gene pool. Like said, like I have 2 siblings, right? But we have different. All 3 of us have different dads. And it's like weird seeing like which traits that we keep like from our like same mother, but like it's like different. Like me and my brother, like we damn near have like the same nose, like the same nose structure. And like the older I get, the more like I see like the the resemblance like between
Okay.
us.
Yeah.
But, like before that, like you would think that we like weren't even like related.
Yeah, interesting. Me and my bro look like exactly the same. Or pretty much. People ask if we're twins a lot. All right, cool. So one thing that initially connected us from the get back in 2016 was our affinity for hip hop.
So,
I wrote a compliment. Y'all still watching? I appreciate y'all. I wrote a complimentary piece about this man that y'all can see on my Instagram, which is Go Gideon Global. Should be up on the screen right now. And in there, I talked about how our music libraries, were almost identical when we met. What are your top 3 hip hop albums of 2020, and who you got next? Who is like some underground, like some old school shit that like. Or an underground, like, yet to blow up kind of secret rapper that you know that's like, that's him.
not mainstream. So,
not mainstream.
So when you say of 2020, you mean shit that's come out in 2020?
Yes, from January 1st to now.
That one might be hard, but to the underground people or people who haven't really hit the spotlight yet, there's an artist that goes by the name of St. John.
St. John.
Yes, he reminds me of like Kid Cudi and Post Malone.
Okay.
Like mixed together.
I don't know him. I think you should talk up a little bit. Like speak up a bit.
Like very melodic type of. I wouldn't say straight up rap, but it's very vibey. I think that certain songs he does, and matter of fact, on TikTok. One of his songs got a dance club remix, Roses.
Okay.
I started to hear it on the radio like all the fucking time, and it was used in hella TikToks.
Yeah.
And I guess that's gotten him into doing other remixes like that, like dance remixes to like some of his songs.
Okay.
And I've been seeing like a lot more traffic go through his discography and stuff. And
St. John.
For
sure. I'm gonna check him out.
I will slap
you link him
that
some shit.
later, definitely. But yeah, him. I really like him. As far as personality wise, he seems like a really dope artist too. A person who takes his craft seriously, and he was like kind of in the industry before he started making his own music. He was a writer for people like Usher and a few other R&B artists. So I would definitely say that he's like my most.
Your go-to when people are like, yo, who do you know that's not known?
Yeah, that's not super well known, definitely. For the albums,
top 3.
Ew.
Sorry to hit you with that on the spot. It's kind of difficult to just like.
I can't go off the top.
All right, dude. I'll entertain the people in the meantime by doing something. Alright, welcome back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Favorite albums of 2020.
Yeah, actually, I'll do the same. Wait, alright. Something I gotta say right off the top. Lil Baby, was my turn in 2020? Because, bro, that hit me hard, bro. I was like, bro, alright, so first time I heard Lil Wayne album was Sorry for the Wait 2. I think I was 16 years old.
Good shit.
I think I was 16 years old, bro. And I listened to it and I said, it's over. I said it's done. I said I can't do it like that. I went through the whole thing and said, bro, the way that this dude is piecing words together from this bar to that bar, like in this whole kind of complex thing, I said there's no way, if that's the standard, I'm out. And that's what I said, bro.
And all
I said I can't do that shit.
It's all for fucking mixtapes and remixes, bro. Like that's where Lil Wayne like to me makes his mark as like the best like rap artist. Like I was talking like the top 5 rap artists with one of my coworkers. Wayne was top.
That's funny you say that. Damn, I'm hella glad you actually said that because I have a list right here of who I think is top 5 new school, and I was gonna have you do it and see if they matched up. I was gonna have you say who you think they are, but I want to know if this album is 2020 because that one gave me goosebumps down my whole spine, bro.
You said the
Lil Baby, yeah. 2020, bro, February 2020. All right, that's one of my top 3 because that came to me and I was like, yo, what? I was like blown away. That shit is so good.
You know, bro, TBH,
what you got?
I don't really have like albums, but I do have a bunch of songs off of shit that's come out in 2020 that I really fuck with.
List them off. What you got?
So the Weeknd. I tried to listen.
I was gonna mention The Weeknd too.
The After Hours.
Yeah.
That shit was. I tried to listen to it. It's like in one sit down. That shit put me to sleep. Like
I just listened to it on my drive to LA. Actually,
I felt like I was on Adderall. Like when I listened to it,
it's like so like this.
Yeah, yeah. But a Snow Child off that.
Bro, that's the one I was gonna say.
That's
so y'all gotta know that how we're vibing right now was literally like the second time we ever hung out. That like every single song that he said off every album that I mentioned was like the exact song. And so that you say Snow Child right now was the one that I was gonna bring up out of that album.
Definitely. Like,
that shit hits. That shit's really
every
nice.
time.
That's really nice.
I listened to. I think my brother had put me onto Lil Yachty's last album.
Oh yeah, I
think of that.
Boat Season.
Lil Boat 3.
Lil Boat 3.
A few songs off of that. That TD song with Rocky and Tyler.
Which one?
It's called TD. I think that stands for Tokyo Drift.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because that's the sample it is.
Yeah.
Like from the Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah. What you think about that Drake?
The Dark Lane.
The Dark Lane, yeah. It kind of came in a weird time because I feel like I feel like he had that shit to the side, and then the world changed with COVID and George Floyd, and then it was like, okay, it was like, is this shit even relevant anymore? You know what I mean? And I actually I have a question about that. Yep. But that hit to me. Drake can't do any wrong. I feel like he's got such a team with him that every single thing. If you just go through his tape once, go through his tape twice, and then don't listen to it for a week, it'll find you again. Did you know me? Like in bed, and that shit'll just hit you again. Yeah. Whether you want it to or not, it's catchy. It's melodic.
Yeah,
and it works. I like it a lot.
Yeah, like when Drake does his Drake shit, like the R&B / rap that he's known for, that vibe that he's known to create. Can't do no wrong.
Can't do no wrong.
I don't like that Tootsie Slide shit. Like the whole fact that he leans so into the viral aspect of it. Like I can't say that shit was cool.
I feel like if it's authentic, then it's chilling. I feel like he's got to be doing it authentically. He can't force himself to do that shit. I mean, and he's a pop star. He's a sensation.
Yeah. He's fucking Drake. I don't think there's been there's people like him, the Beatles, Michael, that reached their own lane. But I would in any artist's time, they're gonna reach a point where they're gonna do different things and kind of experiment. And I feel like a few years ago, I think after Views had dropped, he had reached I feel like after Views that was he can go any higher than that. But then
Views was hella good. I feel that his discography had to continue for sure, unless you're Logic and you're all right, I'm trying to get out.
Yeah, trying to retire.
What hella did it for me, I mean, Nothing Was the Same was so good. Every one of those songs, bro. But then If You're Reading This came out, and it was I remember where I was when I heard those first notes on Legend, and I said I'm already down. It was so good. It came through hot.
Legend's that whole album still slaps to me.
Yeah, the whole thing.
And same. I think I was at my grandma's house. It was a Saturday. I spent the night at my grandma's house, and the music app I was using at the time, it's called Napster now, but it was Rhapsody, and it didn't usually have all the newest releases. But
wait, isn't it the other way around? Or am I wrong? It's called Rhapsody now. It was called Napster.
Both. So it was Napster, then Rhapsody, and I think Napster bought it back, or some shit like that.
Sure. I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
I've been with Apple Music for since 2016.
Alright, I'm gonna say some shit, but what can I say about Drake? Any one of these rappers who you come to them and they have advice, you have advice for them, it's look what I've already done without it. I don't know why you would think that I need that. And someone's this is my opinion. So I feel you. I don't know if he went, oh, ew, I don't even want to say anything negative about this homie. I don't want to say anything negative about any of these homies who have done anything big, but I guess this is just the words that are flowing through me right now.
Speak your truth.
Yeah. The albums became so dense. 20, 25 songs, it was difficult to get mixed in with all of that. Difficult to be down with all of it. You know what I mean? Like for sure there's some, but some became like so. I don't know. There was just a lot. He gave us so much. He gave the world so much. Thank you, Audrey.
Yeah, Aubrey.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Aubrey Graham.
No. Hey, of course, bro. Let's do a track, bro. I kind of feel like we're gonna do a track together. Hope you're still around when I'm around, cause it's coming.
Come through to the studio.
Shout out Logic too. Shout out Logic.
What's Logic's real name?
Bobby
Tarantino.
Bobby Tarantino. Shit, we should know this off the top.
I feel like when it comes to like knowing like that extra information about rappers, because my oldest nephew, my oldest nephew talks so much shit. Like he's a professional shit talker, and like I kind of commend it because I can never be that way. When I was younger, I was always much more humble, but like he'll have a lot of information, but not the information that necessarily like matters. Like he'll know the person's real name, maybe like a few of the collaborations that they've done, but like he wouldn't have like listened to their music or anything. And like that always it just a debate of like, you know, kids or the things that younger kids listen to that influence their taste as they get older and stuff like that. And I definitely don't consider myself an old head, but
yeah, I mean, you can learn so much. You can learn so much from going back.
Definitely.
And sometimes it's like, all right, there's nothing new. It's like if there's nothing new that's like hella jiving with what you got, you might as well like go back the other way.
Yeah.
And see what's good back there.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, it's the stuff to pave the way.
And music, especially hip hop, like I don't think that shit's like linear. Like I think that it can definitely go like back and forth. And
just like from the soul.
Yeah, and just like what hip hop like is and or what it began as with like, you know, sampling and shit like that. Like sampling is what got me into wanting to have the career in media that I want to have, because I would be on it was really Pandora where I really started to get the behind the scenes information of certain songs. But I would be listening to something, I'd be like, wait a minute, this was on
I feel that, yeah.
Like something else. I heard this before, and then I would learn that it wasn't original, and that would kind of like ruin the song a little bit for me.
Bro, I love doing that. Like, oh yeah, you got more?
Nah, and I would just say like after like, you know, that happened so many times, I was like, all right, I never want to be caught off guard again. I want to know if something is a sample or not. Like I want to immediately know.
Like for example, Workout by J. Cole.
Yeah,
and that's like some sample of some Kanye shit way back. And it's funny hearing the Workout first. And then, I mean, just from who I am and where I'm coming into the game, I guess that's fair to say. I rap. I rap, stay tuned! Stay tuned!
If you didn't know.
If you didn't know, that mic just cut for sure. Dude, I don't know how much camera space we have, but this is a good conversation. I got a question about your broadcasting.
Keep going, bro.
All right, cool. Cool. All right, what about the field of broadcasting intrigues you so much, keeps you interested? Ideally, where can you see it taking you? And I say this only because when I met you, you wanted to be doing the thing that you're still doing now. What advice can you give to people who have yet to find their thing, like what they're passionate about and what they want to do, who are still looking and can't seem to find an outlet for their passion and their energy?
Yeah, I mean, for me, bro, like it was just I came in. When I left or when I graduated high school, I went to SF State under art history, and I had the goal of transferring that shit into like, you know, art design and like digital, like, you know, art and like, you know, cartooning and stuff like that. Because I did like the draw, like that was like my initial passion, but it wasn't it was my hobby. Like I thought it was my passion, but it was just something that I like to do. Like I would notice when people would push me to do different things, and I never like took like an art class or anything. Like
when I say broadcasting, I mean like podcasting and radio show hosting,
like media.
Media, like on the air kind of jazz. Like, that's what this homie's trying to be doing.
And I like when I learned that the art shit wasn't something that I really wanted to do, because when people would like, you know, try to push me to do like more things, I just like wouldn't be with it. I wasn't really. Yeah. I've discovered that I wasn't really passionate about it enough as I needed to be to do that for an actual career. Mm-hmm. So within that first semester, I was like, okay, art isn't my thing. So what's the next thing that I'm really into? And that's like I said, when I would listen to Pandora, I would just have like lyrics. Just like 70% of my brain space is dedicated to lyrics. And just like,
it's crazy amount.
And I'd be forgetting shit that I know. Like if I hear a song I haven't heard in like years, like give me a second, but I'll recite that bitch like perfectly.
You know what's kind of cool? Something that I've been doing recently, and this comes back to my spiritual progression in a way too. That like I've opened up my third eye, and I literally get divine communication just inside my head. Like, and I adhere to it, and it's always applicable to the outside world. I trust it, and I know it's there, and it's proven its merit. And so, bro, so with these Spotify and these streamings, don't you miss like these iTunes like 99-cent purchases, bro? Like, those kind of shits. But with the streaming, bro, I feel like it's so easy to get sort of stuck, or like you'll find an album that you really like and you'll listen to it for a bit, and then you'll listen to 6 more albums on top of it, and that shit'll just like fall into the category of just albums. And so what I've been doing, bro, is like I'll kind of hear the song that wants to be played out of the thousands of songs that are on my Spotify that I can't just recall out from my head. I'll like almost click play, and hear the song that comes in. And it's like, oh, some old school Mac Miller or some shit. Like I'll hear bum da dum da 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 da. I'll hear it, and I'll just like, okay, I'll go to that. Or like sometimes when a song ends, Ben Gideon, the knowledge that I have, doesn't know what the next song is, but I can hear what the perfect transition would be, which is kind of interesting. It's like I've kind of wanted to mention that for a while, just because 60 this is interesting. We're branching off, but iTunes advertises itself as like 60 million songs. Like, bro, but every time you log onto your phone, you can only see like 10 albums. Like, it's like 60 million is like, I can't recall all that. It's like there needs to be another way that they do it. I'm like, I'm working on an idea for one. I have no idea how to code though.
And I feel like, like you said with Spotify, like I feel like Spotify is more. People can pay for Spotify to play like their shit whenever they want. But I feel like most people use it for like the playlist aspect. Yeah. So like a pre-curated list of like tracks within like a certain genre or whatever. Yeah. And like even that like curating playlists like that goes into like the field that I want to get into. And it's something that really like interested me. Like anything that has to do with entertainment from like the music world.
All right, well here's a question, bro. Let's focus on the one. Ideally, where can you see it taking you? Like in that thing that I wrote about you, I said I could see you actually having like a fire ass radio show, or you being like a radio host somewhere. And I agree with that. I think that. But where do you see it taking you broadcasting?
Well, thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
No lie. Bro, I can see you spinning their records or whatever, talking hella smooth on a nice ass mic to the bay, to the world.
And even just like something like this, like so once just to finish that other story, once I realized that music was
sorry about that. Sorry,
what's the next? No problem.
All right, sure.
As soon as I realized that music was the next thing I was truly passionate about, I took a class at SF State, intro to media or something like that. Yeah. And it got me like it broke down all the behind the scenes shit, like how shit gets played on the radio, like royalties, like all that shit, and how artists really get paid. And that like was interesting to me because like that's an aspect that's not really like talked about that much.
I'm trying to learn that. I need to know that.
And just like that information, like so like for example, like who produced the beat, or who originally produced the beat, and then who wrote the song, like all that stuff that would be, all the information that would be on like the little pamphlet in the disc,
on the album, for sure,
on CD shit. Like a lot of people like don't really trip about that no more, or that there was a time where people didn't really trip about that. So like gaining all that information, like with the lyrics and stuff that I already had in my head, like that shit just like stayed in my mind and genuinely interested me.
That's dope.
So like whatever job that I would want to have, and there are so many fucking jobs in the world of media, from like setting up mics and stuff to like being an engineer to producing, even like curating playlists, like being a DJ. Like there's just so much.
Engineers real shit, but yeah.
Yeah, there's just like so many like avenues that you can go that you can take your craft. And like I feel like a lot of it kind of like weaves into like one another, and you're gonna have an opportunity to be in a space where you can talk to like whoever, and then like that just adds to like your
like all of them.
Yeah. So it just adds to your amount of skills, and then whatever you do with like that information, whether you want to take it to a show or that's what I want to do. Just like whatever, whether it's like just something like this.
I can see you, bro.
And just talking about the bunch of media information I have in my head. Like that's just that's the job that I would want.
The 30%.
Yeah, whether
the other 70s lyrics.
Even talking about the lyrics, like breaking down rap and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the talks that we have just about like different artists and like different concepts and shit like that. That is genuinely fun to me, and I feel like with all the opportunities that I've gotten since I've left SF State and found Laney, shout out to Laney too. If anyone wants to like start a career in media or anything, go to Laney. They will show you so much love. Laney College in Oakland.
Laney College in Oakland.
The campus is kind of grimy, I'm not gonna lie, but if you skateboard, that shit's cool. But yeah, like once I got there, I just received so much like direction and support for like this type of shit that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like. SF State is good, and they copy a lot of stuff from the media department at SF State, but I just got so much more support there, and that's what led me to like the opportunities that I have now. So like having a show like it, regardless of all those opportunities, I still have the ability to like get a mic and set up and record like whatever conversation and talk about, have the freedom to talk about whatever I want.
Yeah.
So it's just really gaining the information and gaining the skills that someone in my field like would have, or a professional in my field would have.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the advice. Get educated in the stuff.
Yeah, get educated on this shit.
And then just like be creative with how you use it.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Okay.
All right. Cool. I think we got one more question. Cool. Yeah, I think we got one more question. I think we have enough camera space. If you're ready, we're gonna be hopping off of what we've been talking about with something new. We were drinking our Just Water out here. Shout out Jaden.
Yeah. Not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored yet.
No product placement.
No product placement.
None at all. None whatsoever.
None at all. No one's paying me anything to be here with this merchandise or this water. Thank you, Jaden.
Yeah. Can you zoom in on the hoodie?
Bling. Yeah, we can in post. But yeah, whoa, thank you, Jaden. I said thank you, Jaden, for the water sarcastically, but thank you, Jaden, for what you're doing, bro. You're a G. Shout out to you and your family. Also, we appreciate what you're doing to Flint. We appreciate the Just Water. I got that box 86% recycled. That's so dope. Dope music. We're all the same age. All three of us are the same age. Jaden, Cory, and myself. Your birthday is
December.
Yeah, I knew it was later in the year. Jaden's is April, I think, or. No, it's later. It's later because I'm older than Jaden by like 3 months or something. Jaden Smith. Shout out. All right, cool. Next question. Bro, do you remember March? The month of this year?
Oh, this past March?
Yeah. And how different that was?
It's kind of hazy. You might have to jog my memory.
Bro, I mean, March was like, all this shit happened in March. So it was March 14th or so where I was like called out of work. Officially, but the first week of March, bro, everything was as is. So we saw the world change when coronavirus hit and halted pretty much every aspect of our society, and people seem very eager to return to the society that that was. But do you think that society still exists anymore, or are we just going to continue forward into a new world and build fresh from where we are now?
I mean, I personally, I was wanting things to return to normal, but I think it's like way past.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute, and even like after, once we get to that point, I don't think things are gonna stay the same, or I don't think things should stay the same.
Yeah,
because even like with people responsible for the way things have been handled, just like like with like local governments and shit like that. Yeah. I think that this whole pandemic has showed that things aren't exactly as tight as they like need to be.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
How many cases we got? Like a few million.
Yeah. We should know those numbers too. I think over 160,000 dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like we had like a puppet government regime in the White House, and there's like, okay, here's like an actual situation where we're gonna need y'all to actually do some shit. And these guys were like, yeah, what? We don't even know how to do real shit like that.
4,300,000. I don't even know how to say that number. 4,710,282 cases.
And what's the number to the right of that? The amount of people?
Deaths. So 155,331 deaths.
That's too many. That's crazy. Yeah, they said some shit about us just having to live with it.
Yeah.
Makes me bite my... Suck my teeth. Oh, brother. So this is, I think, the last time that we can do that before we run out of card.
Okay, but
before we run out of shit on the card.
Last question. But yeah, it's some real shit, and people have really been affected. Like people, like my for example, my girlfriend, she graduated or would have graduated CSU East Bay this last semester. But because of everything happening, she didn't really get her graduation ceremony, and she's expressed to me how like she kind of feels like robbed of that, that big achievement, and how she doesn't really feel acknowledged for it. And like I don't know, like usually I haven't really been that affected more than like the next person, the next like citizen that has to do with everything. But for people like that who really did like miss out like a big moment in their lives, that's ass. I can't imagine how it would feel to deal with something like that, and then like the people who have lost their lives to it as well,
that's the big one.
Or have lost loved ones to something like this. It's just a very big, huge, the biggest inconvenience that many people have dealt with.
It's crazy.
And so, in like coming back from it, I think that it's going to take. I think people should take more responsibility for others in a way. Like stop being so selfish in your actions and start being more considerate of the whole country, and whether that's with getting more involved in your local government so the individual can have more say, or at least understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, more control, and that these big decisions aren't being made under our noses.
Yeah, and just looking out for one another. I interviewed a few people, a few older folk, and a few people who own businesses that were affected by Corona, and I had asked them, had they seen like a change in like treatment from other people. And they had said that they started to realize or recognize more kindness when they would see people getting out more, since they took what they had beforehand like for granted, kind of, and they didn't really realize how flimsy our day-to-day lives like really are, and how something big like this could happen, which is weird because you as a person, as a curious person, like you have thought of some major scale shit happening, right? Like
what you mean?
Like any random thought. Like what if what ifs? Like what if a fucking asteroid hit the Earth?
Yeah.
Like how bad is that gonna be? Or what if a nuke hit us or something like that. Like things that you don't really think have a high probability of happening.
Yeah.
But the situation. Nobody would have guessed this situation that we're in now. So it just goes to like how crazy. It just goes to show you how crazy like this whole situation has been just for everybody. Because as you see, like the numbers haven't been going down, and like people aren't going to be able to stay cooped up forever.
Big spikes like after the protest, right around 2-3 weeks after the protest, it was like we started soaring up. But also like EU was protesting too, and they're all chilling. Me and my family actually can leave. Like we can go to Europe if we wanted.
Are they over there?
No, just because me and my siblings have citizenship.
Oh, where?
Yeah, dual citizenship over in Switzerland.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's like a flex or what, bro. Like I don't know, like just hesitant to share that information. But yeah, so like 98% of the population here in the United States, that's not a statistic or whatever, like can't go to those countries. But me and my siblings are like talking about like, yo, it's like back to normal there, like they're like that's living their lives, like they're playing like baseball in like Japan and shit, but we're like, fuck, bro, it's gonna be so long until like we can go to a concert. What was the last concert you went to before this shit went down?
It was a while ago. Maybe the Astro World concert in Sacramento.
That's lit.
Yeah.
Stargazing.
Yeah. Definitely that was the last one. But yeah, like I want it to be different, and I hope that people are nicer, and was more considerate about our place, like just in the world and in this country. Politically, I hope shit progresses. I don't know about
more transparency, more accountability.
I don't know what's going on with old Joe and Donnie, but I just hope that just things that actually change, so that if something like this does happen again, we just have a better control over it. Yeah,
I mean, people who are competent. I don't know why I have any reservations about throwing insults towards those people, but yeah, people who are competent, people who know what they're doing, people who actually have political backgrounds, people who make decisions not only for themselves but for the people. All right, so one last question before I think we're gonna wrap this up. This has been kind of cool. We've been here for like over an hour, my G, just like chatting. That's dope. This is the longest episode by far, but I mean, we could sit in here just like we were talking, that Joe Rogan podcast was 4 hours long, but fuck it, I'm not trying to compare to him. Very quickly, maybe just rattle some things off. This is going on to what we were just talking about. What important lessons did coronavirus teach the world?
I would say,
and I mean, no disrespect to the families who have lost lives around doing that, but I just mean that there was a lifestyle change,
definitely.
Like I was going out every day, like just being hella far away from my mom, like every day, like doing work. I don't know, I was doing everything was off balance, and just my views were like in the wrong location. And so this shit happened. It was like, you can just chill at home if you wanted to, bro. Go spend time with your family. But
yeah, so I would say like stuff like that, like managing to make time for all of those that you really care for, like in your life, because you never know when shit can go bad,
when it won't be the same.
And you said lessons that the whole world doesn't know.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Yeah. What?
Masks are kind of sexy.
What'd you say?
Masks are kind of sexy. I gotta make sure everybody hears this. Look, I genuinely believe this. Masks make you 30% more attractive. Think about it.
He did the math. He's done these calculations.
Look, so you can only see a person's like eyes or let's say the top, the middle of the nose and up. If this part of your face ain't popping, nobody fucking knows. If say if your teeth ain't really that nice, or you might be insecure about a mole you might have or something, a mask covers that all up, and fucking superheroes and shit.
Bro, it's crazy we can just talk, bro. But I also read this thing about this deaf homie who only uses lip reading to communicate, but because everybody has masks, he's like, bro, he's like out of luck, bro. He posted some shit on Reddit, not ranting, but just yo, this is my story, how much this sucks, the whole world's wearing masks. I have no idea how to communicate to anybody. You know what I mean?
That is fucked up.
That's funny what you said though.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% believe that.
Shit, bro. Damn, dog. I think we should wrap this.
That's all good.
Yeah, this is my show. We're wrapping it.
Yep. What is this? In the room?
Yeah, in this room, bro.
In this room,
episode 4 with Cory. Here we fucking are. Welcome to the studio. I'm gonna be in here a million hours. I'm gonna be here as long as I can. Shout out to all y'all. If y'all are still watching, around an hour 15. What?
Y'all some real ones. We love you.
Yeah, just so much love. Okay, cool. This is, I don't know, man. I feel like I want to like end this like cooler. I don't even know. All right, here we are in this room, episode 4. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. If you haven't, maybe just go like hit that sub button. You know, yeah. Maybe just go hit that sub button. You know, I need like 1,000 of those to monetize this channel. So just hit that sub button. It's all love. It's all love. It's all life. Stay true. Be cool. Find God. Do your thing. Life's good. Get a balance. All right. Peace out. Let's go. That's what's up.